Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Rado. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm a dancer, a b-boy, a breaker, just a dancer in general. And I'm part of an international crew called Ale Abilities. And also my crew here in the Netherlands is called Break Squad. And currently I'm in the studio of Break Squad. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about my journey as a dancer, but also more about my crew Ale Abilities, because that's a really special and dope crew I want to tell you guys more about. So first of all, thank you so much, Avance, having me as a part of your workshop series. I know this is still a crazy time that we're in, and I wish I could visit you guys live and just have that interaction. But hey, this is a great way to just keep in touch with all of you. And hopefully when you see this video, you'll be inspired to do movements, to take your dancing to the next level, and to just experiment with it. Because it's an amazing journey, and it always continues no matter what the situation is. You just keep on moving, keep on dancing, because dance helps you overcome so many obstacles and so many limitations. As I speak for myself, it helped me overcome so many obstacles. See, I was born with a shorter right arm, like this. I only have 2 fingers on my right hand, so peace everyone if you're watching this. On my left hand, I only have 3 fingers. So yeah, instead of a high five, give me a high 3, guys. What's up? I have a shorter right leg, and I wear a prosthetic. And actually, a lot of people in the dance world, they don't know that I have a prosthetic. And I'll show you guys. This is my leg. So still have a right leg and a foot with 5 toes, but it's way shorter than my left leg. So yeah, I use a prosthetic to walk and also dance. But since I'm always dancing in like long trousers or pants, nobody ever know that I actually have a prosthetic leg. And also I'm missing a right hip. So, when people see me walk, they think like, yo, why is this guy walking like a gangster? Well, I don't have a right hip, so I don't have any choice to just walk like a gangster 24/7. But hey, that's all good, and that is something that I had to deal with from an early age. It was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of falling back, falling hard, failing hard, but just get betting up, keep going, and just keep accepting who you are. And this was a whole journey, okay? This doesn't happen overnight. And the one thing I can tell you is that when I found dancing, that actually helped me overcome so much in my life. It gave me so much self-confidence. It made me the person who I am today. And actually, because I was so used to just falling every time and getting back up, dancing is actually the same way. Like every time I fall out of a move, or every time like I crash to the ground, for me it was a reason to just get back up and just try it again and try it on my own way. And breaking is a great way to do that, because breaking is so creative. Breaking is, for me, the ultimate form of freedom. And what I could do is I could really express myself and put my creativity in there. And it was a great way for me to just accept my situation, but also be creative with it and just take it to the next level and just keep it pushing, but really by being close to myself and just basically embracing my kind of like negative situation, but by embracing it, kind of like see the positive things inside of it. And yeah, that really helped me developing my style. And right now I've been dancing for 16 years, and it's been a crazy journey, I can tell you that. Just started out with a couple of friends, and then after just keep continuing and keep on going. And then after a while, start to building my name. First here in the Netherlands, then other countries, other continents, and started to receive invitations to go to competitions in different countries, to perform different events. yeah, it was amazing to see where dance took me. And when I started, I never thought that dance would take me around the world. I always had this dream and I always believed in it, and I was always like, had it in the back of my head that one day I just want to like live that dream of a professional dancer. And I just never let my situation hold me back because I believed in it that it was possible. And years later, I'm living my dream as a professional dancer. And it's definitely not an easy road. It was definitely not easy to just do it. But, you know, the first thing starts by believing it yourself. And then great things happen, and great things will be possible. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of different stuff, a lot of different things. I've done a lot of competitions and still do until this day because it really challenges me to become a better dancer, to test myself, to just, you know, surpass myself every time. And it just keeps me focused, just keeps me going. So battles, competitions, of course, is a big part of breaking. And I just keep on doing that because I just love the thrill, I just love the rush of energy, and just the whole exchange with everyone is just amazing. Another thing that I've been doing a lot is theater. Actually, the first time my introduction to theater was in 2008. It was quite early on in my career as a dancer because I was dancing for 4 years. And then I got introduced to theater, and that opened up a whole completely different world because I was so used to do competitions, and with competition rounds you do your best moves, your best sets in like 30 to 50 seconds, right? With theater you could completely take your time and just build an entire world on stage and really tell a story that has different emotions, different layers. And to me, I wasn't used to do that because I was in the competition world where everything goes fast and to the point and with attitude. And then when I got into theater, man, that was a different kind of story. And I loved it the first time. I have to say, and I have to admit that rehearsals with, because I started to dance with a modern dance company, and that was really weird. That was, they were taking things really slowly and on the ground and moving slow and to different kind of music that I was used to do. So the first couple rehearsals, I was like, where did I get myself into? But from everything I've been doing my whole life, one thing I always keep in mind is to just always try to step out of your comfort zone, because that is where growth is, and that is where you find something that you might have never think of, but definitely something that will better you as a person. So years went on, and then in 2010, I got introduced to Ill Abilities. And Ill Abilities is an international dance crew comprised of differently able dancers. All these dancers come from various parts in the world, but despite their disability, what people will think or will say that they only have ill abilities. They made something that society views as a disability, they flipped it, they created a strength, and every single dancer in Ill Abilities took their disadvantage and make it an advantage, and became a world-class, renowned B-boy as a dancer that is globally recognized by influencing the style that they do, by innovating movements that right now are currently recognized all over the world, or they made a lot of name or a lot of noise in competitions or through videos. They inspired many people around the world to start dancing. So B-Boy Lazy Legs, he had the idea of creating a super crew, an all-star team of the best dancers who happen to have a disability, put them together in a team, and you have a super crew of some of the most talented dancers all together. So Ill Ability started out with 4 members, 4 original members. It was, of course, B-Boy Lazy Legs from Montreal, Canada. Lazy Legs was born with arthrogryposis, and he has very little muscles in his legs. Um, his arms are strong, but his shoulders are blocked off, so he cannot really put his hands up high. He walks with the aid of crutches and also carries on leg braces to be able to walk and to keep his legs straight. When he dances, he does the most incredible stuff on his crutches. He's a very, very skilled and talented dancer, but let him fly off of his crutches and he gives the most crazy power flow combinations on the floor, and his attitude, his presence is super amazing. Another original member from Ill Abilities is B-Boy Cujo, and Cujo is a legendary dancer, has from Ill Abilities the most dance experience because he's been dancing for over 25 years. He's also the most youngest out of the crew, not. But Cujo has influenced many around the world with his original style, with his innovative moves that until this day he influences people by. And Cujo was born completely deaf in his right ear, and in his left ear he hears for a couple percentage. He wears a very powerful hearing aid in his ear, but to hear music has always been a huge challenge for him because music comes in as static noise. So he has a lot of trouble hearing the music, hearing the beat. So for him to dance to the music was that huge challenge that he has. That also influenced his way and his unique way of moving because he could not hear the music, so he made his own rhythm, he made his own beat, and his style of dance is really crazy, is amazing, and especially early on in the days, in the 90s, was very innovative. Another original member is called Checho. Checho is from Valdivia. It's in the southern tip of Chile in South America. And Checho was born with his feet coming up to his knees. So he's about not that big, but he is huge. Like his upper body and his upper body strength is really something crazy. He has very big arms and a lot of strength in them. So his dance style is a lot based on floating around and doing crazy power moves and tricks and having this balance, this amazing balance of doing movements in a different way that people haven't seen before and doing the craziest tricks. Another original member is called Tommy Guns. Tommy was originally from San Francisco, from USA. Tommy wasn't born with a disability, but when he was 18, he was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, which is a bone cancer, and he had to amputate his leg. He was breaking before he got diagnosed with cancer. So in the hospital, first thing when he lost his leg and he was conscious, the first thing he did was jumping out of his bed and trying to see how it felt like to do a freeze with one leg. He had to completely revamp his whole style, but he's done it in such a way when you see him dance, you still think that there's like 2 legs going. You almost don't miss that leg. Like he moves so fast and so powerful, and it's really great to see how he still continued to dance even though something life-changing happened to him. And so yeah, then I joined in 2010 I was introduced to the crew by a common friend that lives here in Holland, and he introduced me to Cujo. They had a performance in Sweden, a theater performance in Sweden. So I was like, okay, Holland, Sweden, maybe I should just go there and just meet the guys, you know, because they were from, you know, South America and USA and Canada. It's like I have no opportunity to go there, but I can go to Sweden to meet them. And then arriving in Sweden, one of the guys, Lazy Legs, he couldn't make it on that trip. So they were one dancer short. And 24 hours before the show began, they asked me, hey, Rado, do you want to replace Lazy Legs in the show? So I was like, okay, I thought I was just gonna hang out with you guys, but okay, let's do it. I'll replace it. So we had 12 hours maybe to study in the choreography, make new choreography altogether. We had a theater show with voiceovers. We recorded my voiceover on an iPhone in the bathroom, so it sounded nice. And you know, we did the show. I performed with the guys, and for me, it was one of the best experiences I had, because performing with ill abilities gave me an insight what the power of dance was. I was doing shows before and I was performing for audiences, but being on a stage with ill abilities and with such powerful characters in their dance, in their presence on stage, it was something so magical that happened at that moment. We got a standing ovation. People in the audience couldn't stop clapping. People were crying. I didn't know what happened. I'd never experienced that before. So that really, really changed my whole way of theater and what I can do if you have people around you that have the same energy, the same vision as you, and just the same connection. Because just being with these guys, like, even though they are from completely different countries, we didn't grow up together, or we didn't know each other. It was our passion for dance and all the struggles that we've been through. That is what bonds us, and it made us such a tight group that it felt like we've known each other for years, and it felt like we were brothers, you know? So after that, we've done amazing tours. We organized tours by ourselves. We created performances, theater shows, which was a huge challenge, you know, because we were not in the same country. So for us to create choreography, for example, is really, really hard, because we cannot practice together. That's one step. Not everyone speaks the same language, so it's a communication problem as well. Also, we have completely different body and body types. So doing the exact same choreography, we have to figure out ways how to still, even though it might be a slightly different, how we can still connect, how we can make movements together, even though it might be a bit different. So that is it's a big challenge, and it was a big challenge to come up with those ideas. But it worked. We've done amazing stuff. We've traveled to over 25 countries with ill abilities. We got nominated for an Olivier Award in the category of Outstanding Achievement in Dance. So we got recognized, you know, by high-level theater people and organizations as well, for just what we deliver on stage, because that is the thing that we just want to show people, is because there's such stigma on the disability aspect in it, but we want to show that when we dance and the years we've put in practice and training and the movements that we pull off with our bodies, this goes beyond anything that you can label as something. And every single one of us in ill abilities has done that is we surpassed any labels, any limitations. We just want to show you the best of what we can be and what we can do. And we just don't want to be labeled like anything. We just want to show you dancing. That is what it is. It's not being labeled as anything. This on stage is dance. So in 2017, we recruited 3 new members to Ill Abilities. That was B-Boy Crops. B-Boy Crops also is part of Fusion MC, really, really dope, amazing B-Boy crew from South Korea. Crops is from Ujeongbu in South Korea. Crops was born without a disability, and he was on his way to become one of the best upcoming B-Boys in South Korea. And as you might know, the level of dancing there is super, super high. So Crops was like one of the next level prodigies, and he was training for a big competition coming up. And a couple weeks before this competition, during a practice, he slipped and he fell and he broke his neck and became completely paralyzed. He ended up in the hospital. He even was in a coma. When he came out of the coma, doctors told him that he would never be able to walk, let alone dance again. Crops didn't agree to what the doctors were saying, so the only thing he wanted to do was to come back on the dance floor and show everyone that he can still dance. That was his thing. So he went through a crazy rehabilitation process. He tried to move every little single muscle in his body to just give back the feeling. For months, he trained himself, and with a huge training rehabilitation process, he was able to make little steps. And the doctors never expected him to walk, let alone dance again. So months later, with a few steps, he was walking out of the hospital. Another couple months later, he was doing a few dancing steps already, and he took himself back to the studio where he was trying to do some breaking steps already. People would have never expected him that he would ever be able to dance. Crops is seen as a miracle because currently, a couple years later, he's back on stage with us again and he's dancing. He taught himself a rehabilitation process where DJing was a big part of it because he lost a lot of feeling in his fingers. He used DJing with all the nods and everything, to get back that feeling in his hands. This also led, with all the practice that he did, that he became one of the best breaking DJs in Asia. And his music is incredible. And you should really check out his SoundCloud as well with all the beats that he does. It's DJ Crops, so check it out. Then 2 members from Brazil were added. Perninha from Rio de Janeiro. And Perninha was born with a shorter left leg. He wears a prosthetic on his left leg when he walks. But when he dances, he actually takes his prosthetic off and he has one longer leg and one shorter leg. He has an incredible style, incredible flavor. He brings such a crazy dynamic, having the differences in length of both legs, that when he does it, he just does it in a way that only he can bring it like that. The other dancer is Samuca. Samuca is from Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. And Samuca has quite of a similar story as Tommy Guns. Samuca was also born without a disability, but when he was 14 years, he also got cancer in his leg, and he had to amputate his leg, actually a little bit higher than Tommy. So after that, Samuka, his big passion was playing soccer. And you know, Brazil is very good in soccer. So he had this dream of being a soccer player. Um, because he lost his leg, his dreams were shattered. One day, he was watching YouTube and he saw a video of the Ill Abilities crew doing a performance or a battle. And he was so inspired by that video that he was like, I'm gonna try to dance as well. And to be honest, this guy has been dancing now for 7 years, 8 years, but he got our attention because he was posting up videos on the internet, and every time he posted up a video, it will go viral and it will blow up. So we, as Ill Abilities, were sending videos to each other and saying like, yo, check out this kid from Brazil doing the craziest stuff with one leg. He's so fast, so powerful, such presence. We were like, man, I think we need to connect with these dudes. And then he was dancing a lot with Perninha, and so we were like, yo, we need to get these guys to Ill Abilities because I think they could be as a great addition. And the most important thing for us is not only you have to be an amazing dancer, but also your personality is something that really needs to fit the crew, because we're not a dance company, we're a crew, and we really vibe on, you know, positive attitudes and just being a, you know, good person and having a good heart. That's like, you know, that's important, and it goes beyond just being a good dancer. So when we were together, we FaceTimed them a couple times, and the connection was just there. Even though we weren't face to face, it was just there. And the following months, we had a couple opportunities to travel, and we decided to include one of them, and later on both of them, to the performances and to the tours that we were doing. And we had such an amazing vibe, and it was so naturally connected that they were part of the crew. So yeah, that's Ill Abilities, and we've been doing really dope things, like from competing to performing to teaching workshops, varying from a professional dance school or professional education to teaching workshops on special education to people from all walks of life. You know, if you're abled or differently abled, for us it doesn't matter. It's about sharing the joy of dance and about teaching dance to everyone, because we really believe that anyone can dance. And our motto, our slogan is no excuses, no limits. And what that means is that anything in life is possible as long as you don't create any excuses for yourself. So it's the minute you create this excuse that you're actually creating a barrier, a limitation for yourself. So before you're holding yourself back and you're saying you can't do something, just give it a try, and try it your best and try it your own way. Because when you do that, great things start to happen. And it's about stepping out of that comfort zone, facing your fears, facing your challenges, and you never know what waits for you on the other side of fear and in the other side of saying you cannot do something. Try it your best, and then really there are no limits to what you can accomplish. Yo, I'm so thankful to have dance in my life, because it basically gave me life, and it gave me, you know, so much. And whether it's just training, you know, with my crew, whether it's performing on stages worldwide, competing. Last year I got awarded with the Swan, which is the most prestigious dance theater award in the Netherlands. That for me was a huge accomplishment, because it just shows, and it's just a confirmation that you can really achieve amazing things when you start to believe in it. And I just love to dance. I just love the whole aspect of creating and being creative, and, you know, what you can do with your body, the movement, and just the ongoing process. It never stops. It just never stops. I'm thrilled to just share this whole experience with you guys, and I can't wait to hear what your story is, because hip hop theater and just dance theater, because that is where you guys want to focus on, is a very nice way as a development in your style as well, but also in your whole way of being. With theater, you can think outside of the box. And when you are creating this, I really want you to think outside of the box. So as part of this, to create movements for theater, you need to think in different ways. So, for example, when we create movement, when we create choreography, whether it's with Ill Abilities, whether it's with Break Squad My Crew, whether I'm rehearsing with other companies, we always try, to think with concepts, like what is it that you want to show, what is it that you want to tell as a story. But the best way is, I find, to challenge yourself in your dancing. So if you think conceptual, there can be movements being thought that once you put that on a stage, and with the right type of music, with the right type of lighting in a theater, it will look amazing. So what I want you to just play with right now are a couple of concepts that I will show you, and you can just adapt them to your own level, to your own body, to your own being. And I want you to just play with these concepts, and you can take it, and I want you to just keep on searching, because I find that with theater, it's a lot of is searching, and you pick out the things that feel right and that fit into the story you want to tell. So check out the following concepts. Okay, so here are a couple concepts you can play with. The first concept that you can play with, and you can do this on your own level, but it's to work with slides. Slides are a big part of my vocabulary in dancing. I use it a lot. It just helps you change the dynamic. It just moves you from one place to another place in a very smooth way. It just adds that unexpected element to it, and you can basically slide on a lot of different body parts. You can slide on your head, you can slide on your shoulder, you can slide on your hands or use your hand, you can slide on your knee, on your shin, or you can slide on your foot, you can slide on your stomach, on your back. There's millions of ways to slide, okay? Just to start off with, I'll show you a couple slides. Okay, so it's good when you start to slide that you use fabric to slide on, so it's almost impossible to slide just on your skin. It will hurt you a lot. So make sure you always have some fabric, and maybe some fabric, like training trousers, or like a long sleeve that has a polyester kind of a feel, that will always help you to slide better. So what you can start to do is just really start to slide on your knee first, but you start to see how that feels like, okay? So you kind of like be on one knee, and you push off, and you slide. Next one, we can start to slide on our shoulder, for example. So you place your shoulder on the ground with your leg. You can push off, and you can really try to be balanced on your shoulder, but try to push off with your leg and try to slide forwards, okay? When you feel balanced enough and that goes okay, you can try to lift up your feet in the air and slide just on your shoulder. slides can be done very small as well. You know, this already could be a slide. You know, this already you can slide up. You know, slide around. Slides can be small as, you know, just sliding forward and roll. Another thing you can slide on is just, for example, with your feet. So you slide into the floor like this. You put one hand on the floor, and with your feet on the side of your feet, you drag them over the floor. And you slide forwards. This could be with one leg, and this will also be with two legs. Or you can use slides on the grounds. For example, we have this slide that we use a lot in the scalability shows. You know, you add a turn, because that mostly is one common slide that everyone can do. Whether it's, you know, if you don't have the force in your legs, you can hold your leg with your hand and you can drag them, you know. That's, for example, what Lazy Legs does, because he don't have the muscles in his legs to push with and to kick out with, because boom, doesn't have that. But you can always adapt, you know, that's the most important thing. So yeah, try to play with slides. Try very, very small at first. Try to feel out how it feels to put weight on the ground and then be able to move around with it, you know? Just see how that feels, you know? And if you know how you know, what force you need to put in there, you kind of know, like, how to go in and out of a slide, okay? So that's important. Just start small and then increase the slide. For example, like this one. Someone was getting arrested, do you see? Okay, another movement that I use a lot in my dancing, and I actually use a lot in my theater performance as well, is just the power of your arm swing over the floor. And a lot of times this moves basically comes from a lot of contemporary dances, and they use this a lot. And I saw them do this, and it gives you a lot of power and it gives you a lot of momentum in your dance as well. I'll show you. Okay, so from your footwork, okay, you can use the power of the swing of the arm that is free and swing them in front, over the floor, and up back to your footwork. Okay, this swing gives a really nice motion, gives a really nice and powerful effect. Okay, so you can try this move both with your left arm or with your right arm, okay? So another movement that goes into this, and we use this a lot in our ability shows as well, and it's something I'll be using in my shows, and I think it comes from also contemporary dancers, and BBoy Swift Rock uses a lot in his floor work, and it's this movement. We start from a star or snow angel position, like this, on the floor. This, okay? What we do is we step one leg over the other, okay? Then decide where your
hand is on the same side as where you just stepped your leg over. Just goes over the ground here, and the other arm follows the other arm over the ground, okay? When you cannot go any further, then you step your leg over, boom, and you're back in the start position where we just started. Step over, arm, other arm follows, step over, boom. Again, boom, boom, boom.
So with this movement again, if you use the swing of your arms, the power of your arms, you create momentum, and you can use this flow on the floor as a good way of moving. And when you do it good, it looks very cool, it looks very flowy. And this can build up to many other movements as well. Some more concepts to play around with, for example, is a concept of connecting. So something is sticky and you connect it with something else. So body parts keep on connecting to each other, and you start to play around with that concept, and you pick it up and you let things go. This is a way that you can really play with, that we use a lot, that I actually use in my performance as a part of it, but it's nice that things connect with each other, and it just allows you to be creative, to puzzle, to play. Like that. Okay, so connecting. Limitation creates inspiration, right? And sometimes the littlest movement makes the biggest difference. And so one way to get creative with things is when you actually are limited, okay? So sometimes maybe when I'm injured, I'm injured my arm or my leg, and I cannot use that, but that still doesn't hold me back to stay at home and not practice. I just get creative by just seeing what I can do, and I don't focus on the things that I can't do. So actually when you sometimes are limited in things, that opens up your mind to be creative with things. So what you can try is to put some limitations on yourself to play around with, because if you're stuck with yourself in practice and you find yourself doing the same things, what you can do is maybe limit yourself to just using only one arm, and you just dance with one arm, you know? And you have to go to the floor just using one arm. You know? Another thing you can do is say, okay, and this is for me actually normal, but for some of you it's a limitation, but say you can only are allowed to bend one leg and the other leg has to be straight. How would you move then? Okay? So how would you move when one leg is straight and one leg you can bend? Okay? Another concept that you can take is, what if one foot is glued to the ground and you're not allowed to move your foot from the ground? The other one, you can move, but what you have to do is you have to move around it and see what you can still do and how are you able to still move when something is stuck to the ground. Okay? What can you do to still, perform? Okay, so what if you can move this foot, but it has to stay in the same position, okay? But it can still turn around. What can you do? How can you be creative with it? I mean, you can still turn, but you have to see what you can do. Okay, this is a concept you can do with one arm. So you're not allowed, you put either like one hand in the pocket and you just have to dance with one arm on the floor. What can you still do? So I have a 30-minute solo piece, and in this piece I also work with a different kind of concepts, and they come back throughout the whole performance. And this one concept is from the choreographer. His name is Bahoran, very crazy B-boy, all-style dancer, and he had this concept of making your hand into a bowl, pretend there's water inside of it, and what you do is you try to make movements with this, and the water cannot fall off. Figuratively way of speaking, of course, but what it allows you to do, needs you to use your whole body when you try to make this circular movements. And you can do it one way, you can do it also the other way, and see where it leads to, okay? And you can go low, you can go high, You can switch with this concept. What you can also do is make turns, if this works. But it's a cool way, to go from up, but maybe also to the floor and up. And what it needs to be done is it needs to continue without spilling the water. Figurative way of speaking, of course, but it's cool, It's a cool way to maybe play with, and it's a very conceptual thing that you can use in the theater. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope what I shared with you helps you also in your way about finding who you are. It all starts with believing in yourself, and I hope you can practice with all these concepts. Just try them, challenge yourself, try what works for you. Try it at first, don't go all out right away. Just start small and then build it up bigger and bigger until it fits your body, until it fits you, until it feels right, okay? So don't try too crazy from the beginning already. I hope these concepts help you. Try it on different types of music, so don't only get stuck into one typical genre of music, but try out to do it on different genres, because music is a big part also that gives you different types of inspiration for movements. So you can try it on different levels. You can try it when you're at home practicing, and maybe when regulations are coming a little bit better, you can practice in small groups, So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much, and I know that later on I'll be having a Q&A live on Instagram. So if you want to check that out, if you have any questions, whether it's for your dancing, whether it's personal, please let me know. Jump into that live chat, and I look forward to speak to you soon. Thank you so much again. Big shout out to Grounder crew. Thank you, South Wales. Thanks everyone. And no excuses, no limits. Peace out.